Is the Middle East conflict more spiritual than political? Israel and Palestine. In the heart of the Middle East lies one of the most enduring and emotional conflicts of our time, a struggle that has shaped history, politics, faith, and destiny itself. The conflict between Israel and Palestine. The land is ancient. The wounds are deep. And the question remains, why, after more than a century of negotiations, plans, and proposals, has peace between Israelis and Palestinians remained so elusive? What is the root cause of this conflict? Before we get into details, I advise you to stop and subscribe so that we can explore together. So, let's dive into it. The seed of conflict. The Balfour Declaration, 1917. Our story begins in 1917, as the British Empire, victorious in the First World War, issues a short but world-changing statement, the Balfour Declaration. It expresses support for a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. But there was a problem. The declaration was made without consulting the Arab majority living in the land. Soon after, Britain was granted the mandate for Palestine, 1920 to 1948, the tasked with implementing this vision while simultaneously protecting Arab rights. What followed was a complex balancing act, encouraging Jewish immigration while administering an increasingly hostile and divided territory. Arabs attacked Jewish villages, Jews fought back, many Jews lost their lives in the process. The seeds of future conflict had been sown. The UN Partition Plan, Hope and Rejection, 1947. In 1947, after decades of rising tension, the United Nations proposed a solution: partition Palestine into two states, one Jewish, one Arab. The Jewish leadership accepted this imperfect compromise. The Arab leadership rejected it, arguing that it violated their right to self-determination. The result was the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, the birth of Israel, when 7 Arab armies joined the war against a newly born nation. They instructed Palestinian villagers to move out of their way so they could crash the Jewish army, but they were defeated and on their flight from the war, called the same villages they displaced to follow them as they fled from the Jewish army, and that was the beginning of the mass displacement of around 750,000 Palestinians, known as the Nakba, which means catastrophe. Oslo Accords, a glimmer of peace, 1993. Decades later, in 1993, the Oslo Accords offered a new beginning. Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, recognized each other, setting the stage for a peace process. But once again, optimism collided with reality. Many Palestinians saw Oslo as a betrayal, a process that failed to guarantee statehood, ignored the refugee question, and allowed Israeli settlements to continue expanding. The dream of peace slipped further from reach. Camp David and Annapolis, final status talks collapse, 2000 to 2007. At Camp David in 2000, U.S. President Bill Clinton brought Israeli Prime Minister Abe Barak and Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat together for historic negotiations. The proposal, a Palestinian state in most of the West Bank and Gaza, with East Jerusalem as its capital. Yet Arafat rejected the offer, citing unresolved issues: the right of return for refugees, sovereignty over Jerusalem, and the precise borders of the new state. The story repeated itself at the Annapolis Conference, 2007, another attempt, another failure, as Palestinian leaders argued that the solutions fell short of their people's aspirations. The forgotten solution: population transfer. Throughout the 20th century, various proposals, like the Peel Commission, 1937, and the Bevan Plan, 1947, suggested population transfers to resolve the conflict. The idea was simple but controversial: relocate Arab populations to Jordan, and Jewish populations into Palestine, creating clear national boundaries. But each time, these proposals were rejected, particularly by the Arab side. Even King Hussein's 1972 plan to federate Jordan with the West Bank was turned down, as Palestinians feared it would erase their national identity. Population transfer or population exchange worked in Turkey and Greece in 1923 during the tensions between Muslims and Christians. Muslims went to Turkey while Christians went to Greece. It also worked between India and Pakistan in 1947, the Indian Hindu majority and the Pakistan Muslim minority. Hindus went to India and Muslims went to Pakistan. It also worked in Czechoslovakia and Sudan Germans, 1945 to 1947. About 3 million ethnic Germans were expelled from Czechoslovakia after World War II as punishment for Nazi collaboration. Result: rapid ethnic homogenization but also huge humanitarian crises. But why has it failed in Palestine? Why has almost every peace plan been rejected in Palestine? Why has compromise proven so elusive? Perhaps the answer lies not only in politics but in something far deeper: Jerusalem. The prophet Ezekiel declared, "This is Jerusalem, I have placed her in the center of the nations, with countries round about her." Ezekiel 5 verse 5. Jerusalem is not just a city, it is a symbol, a heartbeat, a divine claim. In its history, it has been attacked 52 times, captured and recaptured 44 times, besieged 23 times, and destroyed twice. Could it be that this battle is not merely political, but spiritual? The question that remains. For over a century, plan after plan has been drafted, from Balfour to Oslo, from Camp David to Annapolis, and time after time, peace has slipped away. Some see betrayal. Others see survival. But behind every rejection is a people unwilling to surrender their story, and a city at the heart of the world that no side will abandon. The question remains, can peace ever be found on a land so sacred, so wounded, and so fiercely contested? We leave that question with you. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notification bell for more historical and prophetic deep dives. And share your thoughts in the comments. Is this a political struggle, or something much deeper? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.